inconceivable, however you configure the runways and configure the flight paths, that is going to be a net beneficial impact on our environment. That, I think, is the main point. Second point, I'd like to hear more about road infrastructure and what is proposed to improve ways to get to and from Heathrow Airport, which may be good for passengers, but may not be so good for us, who have to suffer some of the air quality impact from people getting to, all these additional people getting to and from the airport. So it'd be very helpful to hear from Heathrow what their latest plans are in terms of infrastructure for people getting to and from the airport. And the third area, this is where I think is really, really important, that the voice of Fulham and Chelsea is heard very strongly indeed. And that is on night flights. The position at the moment, and I don't know about you, but I've lived in Fulham now for about 30 years, and I get woken up reasonably regularly by night flights. You can often time the first one coming over at 4:30 a.m. The current regime is that around 16 flights a night are allowed between the hours of 4:30 and 6, and in theory, no flights should land between 2300 and 04:30. In practice, some do, and there'll be different kind of unusual circumstances for those. That is not regularly the case. But I think it is completely unacceptable for there to be planes flying over central London, waking up literally hundreds of thousands of people as early as 4:30 in the morning for the convenience of a few hundred passengers, or perhaps a few thousand passengers in the air. Well, the reason there are these night flights is that it suits passengers when they set off, particularly from the Far East, from airports like Hong Kong, Singapore. I'm sure Nigel can update me that if this has changed, but I don't believe it has. It's mainly done for their convenience, so they don't have to leave Hong Kong at 2 in the morning. This way they can leave at midnight. Now, that's nice, and nobody particularly really wants to be stuck at an airport at 1 o'clock in the morning waiting for a plane. But on balance, I would say the convenience of those few thousand is massively outweighed by the inconvenience of the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people directly underneath the flight path on the approach to London. So a key part of this proposal, and to be fair to Heathrow Airport, I think they are more amenable than the airlines are to having a more resident-friendly time frame on night flights. So I think, I'm not saying we're pushing out an open door, but the more we can push the idea that it is unacceptable to have scheduled aircraft coming over central London at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. I don't think there should be anything before 6 a.m. at the very earliest for flights coming over central London. So please make that point as a very key part of the consultation on night flights. So I'm not going to, if you like, steer the discussion much further. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to Nigel Milton and his team, and then there'll be an opportunity for questions. I think we've got to 8:30 the church, so we've got quite a bit of time. I'll try and take questions perhaps in groups of 2s or 3s depending on demand. One final thing from me, and that is I've got a petition up on my website, greghams.com. Go to, I'm about to say Hammersmith Bridge. There is a petition on Hammersmith Bridge as well, but a petition on Heathrow Airport, particularly on night flights. Please come and sign my petition. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to chair the question and answer session and then give a summing up at the end. But we're here to hear from Heathrow Airport what the proposals are, take us through the consultation, and then answer your questions about their expansion proposal. So thank you very much indeed, everybody, for coming. Thank you again to St. Littletree's Church for hosting us, and now over to Nigel Milton to take us through Heathrow's proposal and the consultation. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.